it's Antia Boyd
and Boyd.
And we're the creators of the Magnetize The Man Summit. So really excited for you to jump right into the next interview because we have created this for you to stop attracting emotionally unavailable men, overcome your trust issue, and so much more, so you attract that right man for you that makes you feel seen, cherished, and supported.
Can't wait to see you inside the interview and get you on the path to magnetizing your man once and for all. See you there. Look forward to it.
Mwah! Hello, I'm Antia Boyd. Welcome to the Magnetize the Man Summit, where single successful women unlock their attraction codes and live their happily ever after. And speaking of happily ever after, I have a really special, magical guest here with me today, which is Dr. Diana Kirshner. Hi, Dr. Diana.
Hi, Antia. It's wonderful to be with you. I'm very excited.
I'm so delighted always seeing your face, hearing your stories, and you're definitely in for a treat with what Dr. Diana has to share with you today. Before we go in there, let me just tell you a little bit about her, so you just kind of get a little snack, a little ahi tuna, what you're in for here. So the psychologist Dr. Diana Kirshner was a recurring guest on the Today Show and starred in a PBS special on love based on her smash bestseller Love in 90 Days. Her newest book is Find Your Soulmate Online in 6 Simple Steps. Dr. Diane has helped tens of thousands of singles to date terrific partners, deepen their relationships, and create lasting love that is just right for them. Her dating tips and relationship advice newsletter is available for free. Support at her website, www.loveinninedays, that's 90days.com. So with that, welcome, Dr. Diana.
Thank you. Thank you.
I know we're talking about a topic today that sometimes has to come first before we even, before we're moving into attracting the partner and unlocking the attraction coach, which is recovering from heartbreak, right? So tell us a little bit more about what is the most important thing you can do to heal heartbreak and create lasting, passionate love?
Well, heartbreak is the hardest thing that we all face. Heartbreak can crush you so badly that you feel like you're not willing or able to do anything about it. The pain that occurs is in the same area of the brain that processes physical pain. And it's so extreme. That's why I love people who keep working at love, even though they've been wounded so badly. So the real key, the number one key, and you guys remember this because it's so important, is that you have to have a little willingness, just a little willingness, not much, just a little willingness to help yourself get off the couch and actually work on recovery. It's a recovery program from the pain, from the obsessive thinking about what you did wrong, what he did wrong, what you should have done, what he, how bad he is, the resentment, the anger, the hurt, and all that stuff. It will play on a loop in your brain and run you into the ground if you don't have just a little willingness to take some actions. And we're going to talk about exactly the actions that you can take today. Exactly. But it's the little willingness which is the key. Just a little bit.
It's just a tiny bit, right? And I love that you talk about that, how devastating it is, and that you really acknowledge it, because sometimes women watch and say, well, you have a good reason to talk, you're with your man. And so it's good to really know that we know what pain you can be in. And so Dr. Diana, what are the 4 steps of the powerful love mentoring process?
Well, when you have a little willingness, the first step to help yourself get out of heartbreak is to get yourself a loving mentor. And that is so helpful, so helpful. And your mentor can be someone who could be a very loving friend, someone who understands how hurt you've been, how also understands how amazing you are, and who can really be there for you. So the first step is to, take your little willingness and think through who could really be there for you. Research shows that if you are having this pain from heartbreak and you go to a very loving friend and you cry your pain out, that the brain actually produces natural opioids. The brain will actually produce natural opioids that soothe you and heal you. Isn't that amazing?
Wow. So
yes.
Interesting.
So you want to make sure that you make a beeline for a loving mentor, a loving friend, and allow your pain to be left kind of there. So you can walk away from it. It comes in waves, of course, but that's the first step.
Okay.
The second step, that's number one. The second step is, figuring out what you really need from somebody who's a loving mentor to you. At different points of the heartbreak, you need different things. Like when it first happens, you need the support and the quiet listening and the presence, the loving presence to help you heal. And then as you heal from heartbreak, and you actually do, you guys who are in it, you actually do, I promise you, if you're in it, then you need help to be pushed out again, be pushed out into putting your toe in the water and beginning to rise like a phoenix from the ashes to try to meet other people and to have love again. That's number two, right? So you really understand what you need.
Yes.
And number three is actually asking for what you need, which women don't do. They don't actually say, I really need this, or please say that to me. I really would love it if you gave me a little kick in the rear end right now because I've been upset about Jake and Troy and or whoever it is, and I got to get out. I got to get off the pity pot now. You got to help me. Take my hand, lead me to match and put me on there. And then the last step is, of course, giving back to your friend, who is your great angel at that time. Giving back, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you say more about that last step?
Well, the part of like really owning your healing is actually, kind of switching roles in a way with your loving friend so that you become more their loving mentor, and there is an actual integration or an internalization of a loving mentor that you take in.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, this can occur on a very profound level or on a more superficial level. But when someone really comes through for you in a deep way, and tells you, you're worthwhile, you're incredible, you're your diamond self, whatever your diamond self name is. We've talked about this before. Your diamond self, you're the absolute wonder of light. You're the amazing gift and precious empress.
Yes.
Whatever it is, and actually knows, your diamond self, and they really help heal you. It's amazing to kind of take them in and internalize them as a voice. It's like you're owning this diamond self identity. You're owning what they're saying about you. It's like taking your fairy godmother and putting her internal as an advisor, internally as a new parent, you know, which is amazing. It's really, really an amazing process.
I love that
Really.
because it really acknowledges that we have different parts inside of us, that we have resourcefulness inside of us, right? That we have capacity inside of us, which we sometimes short-term forget, especially when we go through a more traumatic experience, like a heartbreak.
Yes, yes. We wind up often being in what I call our disappointing self. And the disappointing self says the meanest possible things to us. You know, and it's very, very mean. The disappointing self, that part of the identity, is usually quite cruel. You know, you're fat, you're old, you're never going to have another man, never.
Ever.
You know, you're over the hill. It's all over for you.
Mm-hmm.
And just terrible things. You know, terrible. Things you would never say to anybody else. You would say to you'll often say to yourself. And none of it is true, especially the part about being old and never having another guy. Because we have tons of women in our Love Mentor coaching program who are up into their 70s.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly, right?
From, you know, I say people start saying that about themselves around 40. Around 40, it's like, oh, I'm too old now. I'm old. And then it goes up to the 50s, the 60s, even into the 70s. But we have women in all of those age groups who have succeeded, absolutely succeeded. So if you're talking to yourself from your disappointing mind, your disappointing self-mind, and saying, you know, you're too old, it's not true. Just telling you right now.
You know, and I love that you talk about that, Dr. Diana, because so many times, you know, I tell single women all the time, the first thing you have to leave at the door is the right, like having to be right? You have to be willing to be wrong, because I can hear them saying right now, well, I'm different, Dr. Diana. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
I'm special. You know what I mean? I'm unique.
Yes. No one has been through what I've been through.
Mm-hmm.
No one has been hurt, betrayed, wounded like me. There's nobody, you know, that is the way we cling to being special. Is that, you know, we can't really have that little willingness. We can't really have that rising because we're special and it's just been so horrible. But I mean, I can tell you, we've had women who, you know, had the most horrible circumstances. I mean, we had one woman, she was overseas. The guy gave her a horrible STD, and he disappeared right after he gave her the STD, and he completely left her alone and took a lot of their stuff and left her completely alone. And she was devastated and had to handle all that. And let me tell you, you know, she worked with one of our Love Mentor coaches, and she went soaring, because when you overcome these terribly adverse circumstances, you are unstoppable. You are truly unstoppable. And what happens is that your self-respect goes through the roof. It's like, look at this. This was done to me, and I'm like this. I mean, and I'm dating 3 guys now. Or I'm like this fabulous guy. I mean, I love me. You know what I'm saying? So you are unstoppable. If you feel like your situation is horrendous, and you do that little willingness and you go for it, you will be unstoppable.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, I really believe that when we experience like very deep pain, we almost develop this momentum inside of ourselves that it's like a slingshot, right? When you have a mentor who gives you the right steps, you know, you have all this momentum from your pain that just like catapults you up into the positivity and into the wonderful experiences.
Yes. And there's a level at which it's like, that's not going to happen to me again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's not going to happen to me again. And that's it. In other words, I'm going to watch out for that. That's never going to happen to me again. And it's kind of like a bottom. It's a bottom, you know, where you have this experience and you're like, never again. I'm going to go and I'm going to have somebody love me like like there's no tomorrow. And
yeah,
and it's all that guy's loss. It's his loss. His loss.
I know, right? Oh, it's so great. So really take that attitude on right now, ladies, you know, and just really like saying like it's his loss, right? You are the drink, right? You don't have to go to a party to get the drink, right? You are it, right? So
you are the luscious chocolate cake.
Ooh, yeah, like the white chocolate, you know, raspberry truffle. Absolutely. And so you mentioned the diamond self, and are there any other make or break steps women can take to pick themselves up and move on?
Yes, it's very, very important. Number one, to keep busy. Fill your schedule up with activities, right? So on Saturday, you're going to go out to dinner with your friend. On Sunday, you're taking your aunt out, you know, Monday going to the gym. Very, very important. Number two is to try to get some exercise. You're going to get endorphins if you move. If you really get some exercise, the endorphins will help your mood, which is great. Number three, very important, spiritual practice. Spiritual practice or prayer is the ultimate salve. Really, really the ultimate salve. So if you can do some meditation, you can go out in nature. Out in nature, a visual meditation is fantastic. You know, put your attention on a tree, on a flower, on some water. You know, that is a wonderful thing. And then, of course, prayer, very, very important, you know. And becoming more spiritual is a wonderful outcome, actually, of heartbreak. It can be a wonderful, wonderful outcome. You can turn to the divine and say, protect me. Please protect me going forward. I want to have a closer relationship with you, and I would like you to protect me going forward. And of course, the universe will respond. The universe will respond. There's more going on here than meets the eye, as I like to say.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
So if you move closer to the divine, that's a gift you can give yourself that is amazing. It's just amazing, you know, just for the rest of your life. It's just an amazing gift. And then the last thing is to make sure you do not isolate. Do not isolate. Even though you don't want to see anybody, you don't want to talk to anybody, you want to lay on the couch and eat ice cream. No. You want to be with people. Make sure you are with people. Isolation is a recipe for disaster. Isolation means your monkey mind brain is going to ruminate and go over and over like, you know, what went wrong, what he did, how could he cheat on me, how could he leave me, what is going on. In your monkey mind, which is another name for the disappointing self, is just going to go crazy. And you really don't want that. You really, really, really don't want that. You want to be with people. Please be with people if you're in heartbreak. It's very, very healing, very soothing.
Well, I love that you mentioned the spiritual piece, because I feel from spirituality comes so much gratitude, but also perspective. You actually see how this had to happen. I had to go through this to grow, right? So I want to just reiterate that, because you did say so much beauty comes out of returning to spirituality and then using that to when you want to isolate, right? And just like, it's using it as your willpower and saying, you know, there's other people out there who want to be touched by your spirit. You still have spirit, believe it or not, even if you don't feel like it in that moment.
Yes. And yes, it's, you know, when you allow yourself to really cry, you become fully present. When you're fighting or you're, you know, I don't want to feel that. It's too painful to feel that. I can't let that out all the way, right? You won't have that effect. And what'll happen is that the pain will get you around the neck. It'll just get you around the neck. but if you cry, that's why it's so powerful to go to a loving friend or loving mentor.
Yeah.
Because you can cry. You cry it out. Now, when you cry it out, what happens is you come back to pure present time consciousness. So often when people are in a mourning, let's say even after a death, but it's an actual grief process, it's a mourning, they become more alive. All of a sudden, they're more present. All of a sudden, things look shinier. They look more like more beautiful, actually, and it's just a strange thing. It's a very, very strange thing. I think that's why often heartbreak can be a gateway to spiritual elevation, because I don't know, something lifts and cleans out of you, and then you are just that pure conscious awareness, right? Of course, then it comes back. We've got to process it again. But as those waves go, you know, you can go into this beautiful conscious presence, and it's actually quite an extraordinary gift. I know you don't want to hear the word gift if you're in heartbreak, but that is something that is down the pike there for you.
I feel it's like it's for two reasons, because one time I heard this saying, when your heart breaks, it breaks open to you, to more self-love, right? To more compassion, to more understanding. And, you know, and again, like the deeper you can go, that means also the higher you can reach as well. So I think that's very much connected to what you just shared.
Yes, yes, very, very much. Yes, yes. So this is actually fertile time, a fertile time when you're in heartbreak, a fertile time to not only become spiritual, but to really reinvent yourself, really, really reinvent yourself. And create the woman you want to be, you know, create your diamond self. And don't forget to give a nickname. And I'm big on naming the diamond self, as Antia knows.
I know.
Beloved mighty Isis, you know, Wonder Woman of precious love, whatever actually comes to mind is an amazing birth experience. To name yourself as it's a birth experience. Give birth to who you would like to be. Beloved mighty Isis, amazing grace, saucy minx, vivacious vixen, whatever it is, that it could be fun, actually.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's the thing. And I think that also will lift you out of the heartbreak, because it's almost like that kind of person doesn't go through heartbreak. You know, she doesn't even know that. She lives in a totally different reality, right?
Yes. And that's where you want to take yourself, safe into that. Remember, we talked about the protection. You want to take yourself into protection and actually living in the light, and choosing men who are living in the light, who are not low lives who lie or cheat or drink or take drugs or promise that they care about you and then disappear on you. You want men who are in the light, and that means their word is their bond. They have integrity, and if they fall in love with you, they stick around no matter what, through thick and thin, you know.
Yes, absolutely. And that's what you will attract, because you created deeper connection and commitment to yourself. That's really what I believe. So
absolutely.
What are the 3 things women can do today to create more love in their lives?
Wonderful, wonderful. Yes. Okay. So today, what you can do is break your normal pattern, right? So whatever your normal pattern is during this time, break your pattern. Go to a different location that might have interesting guys in them. That is like a new bookstore, you know, go to a new Starbucks. You could go to a new dog park. Break your pattern today and go there and actually say hello to a few people, right?
Absolutely.
And you might be very surprised at what happens. And number 2, you know, you could be the change that you want to see in your life. You want to see more loving kindness coming to you. So you could show loving kindness to everything you encounter today, to plants. I'm not kidding. To plants, to animals, to people. To be the change you want to see in your life. And this is a signifying to the divine that that's the direction you're moving in. And what goes around comes back to you. What goes around comes back to you. And finally, we have a wonderful free gift for you, which you can go and get for yourself today, which is amazing, which is that you could sign up for a free 40-minute coaching session with one of my incredible, just amazing love mentor coaches. They're very spiritual, actually. They're very, very spiritual, but they're also grounded in the practical, and how to recover from heartbreak. And since you're watching this video, you can have a free session by phone or Skype, 40 minutes.
And where do they go?
Oh, they go to lovein90days.com. That's lovein90days.com. I believe we'll have the link down below.
Absolutely.
Here. Yeah. And just fill out the form. Click on where it says coaching, fill out the form. But here's the important part is to please say that Antia sent me, because otherwise we may not be. We get a lot of requests for free sessions, and we have to turn people away quite often. But if you will put in Antia sent me, or I know you say sometimes Anita sent me.
Well, however, you know what I mean? Just put the A.
But I'll know if they reverse the letters.
As long as the 5 letters are in that name,
yeah. That way you'll definitely get your session, and you can have your cry, you can experience what you need to experience, or you can work on your diamond self-identity, which would be extraordinary.
It's such a gift, ladies. Seriously, the diamond self. It's so much fun, and what an opportunity to really reinvent yourself, recreate yourself. Because recovering from heartbreak, that's the name of the game. It is really about an opportunity to create a new identity for yourself. What better way to do it than to find out your diamond self? I mean,
it's also the ultimate revenge. Loving yourself and being better and better and better is the ultimate revenge.
Ultimate revenge, right? So definitely. So go to www.lovein90days90.com to take Dr. Diana Kirshner up on her very generous offer to connect with one of her love mentors. And thank you so much for being here today and honoring us with your wisdom that you've accumulated over the decades and lifetimes. Dr. Diana, I can tell there's so much juiciness in there. And what is one takeaway, one nugget you want to leave the ladies with today?
Yes, it's very simple. Don't quit before the miracle. Really, it's coming. And it's better than you ever expected. It's actually better than you ever expected. So don't quit before the miracle.
Don't quit before the miracle. So with that, thank you so much for being here and really enhancing our lives and our loves as a consequence of that. And ladies, I'll see you next time again on the Magnetize the Man video series summit. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Was that absolutely delicious? We just love how every single expert has those juicy pieces of wisdom for you to enjoy. Look, if you want to own the entire Magnetize the Man series, we invite you to get our Magnetize the Man VIP All Access package. Not only will you own the entire video series, but also you will get our Magnetize the Man Masterclass that teaches you the 3-step formula, step by step, on how to attract the right man for you. You also get some other juicy secret trainings and a one-on-one call with me where we personalize your individual journey to attract that right man for you as soon as possible. So look, to get that, click the link below that says get access now, and you get it all. Own the entire series, including all the juicy bonuses, well worth over $1,400 for nearly the fraction of the cost. All right, we will see you in the next interview.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Mwah.
Mwah.